various properties available with the most commonly used pieces, also known as elements, that can be added to a template using the Inspection Designer program. Elements, also known as piece types, are the items that make up a line in your inspection template. The most commonly used element types are ratings, question answers, text pieces, and notes. For this tutorial, we are going to take a look at some of the properties of these commonly used pieces. First, we're going to start with the rating. To pull up a rating piece properties, we're going to click on Rate for the rating in the work area. So we're going to click here. Let's go ahead and run through each of the properties. First is Show on Input Screen and Show in Printed Report. These determine whether or not this rating will show up on the input screen, the printed reports, both, or neither. Next is Required for Completeness. If this is checked, then if the rating is not filled out when completing an inspection, then the line it's on will be considered incomplete. Next we have Print Only if a rating is entered. If this is checked, this rating will only show up on the printed reports if an answer is selected. That's a look at the basic properties. Let's go ahead and move on to Advanced. Under Advanced first, we have Use Special Fonts. This gives you the ability to give this rating a unique font. Next is Use Special Rating Sets. You would fill this out if you wanted this rating to have a different set of ratings than the standard sets assigned to the template. Show rating abbreviations on input screen and send to database down here at the bottom are both items that are older options and not really used anymore with inspections. Next is Include in Category Score. You will want to have this checked if you're calculating a score and you want to have this rating included in it. After that is Use Exact Placement. This gives you the ability to pick exactly where this rating will show up on the printed report. After that is Element ID. This is used to create merge fields. For more information on what this is and how to do it, watch the tutorial on creating merge fields. Data ID and Instruction are both only used in rare circumstances and will be left blank most of the time. That's a look at the rating piece properties. We're going to click on OK, and now we're going to move on to a text piece. So to do this, we're going to click on our text piece to pull up its properties. Most of the properties we're going to see here will be the same as what we just looked at with the rating, so we're only going to discuss those that are different. The first one that is different is right here. We have a big white box, and this is where you can type in the text that you want to show up for this text piece. Let's go ahead and click on Advanced. So in Advanced, we have a few properties for placement, and this will determine how the text will show up on the printed report. For Immediately Follow Previous Piece, this is the standard selection. Start a new line will make it so that the item, the text piece, will start a new line, and then you can either justify it to show up on the left, the center, or the right. Place X percentage across the screen allows you to have this text piece start a certain percentage across the screen. So if you type in 25 here, it'll have it start 25% across, starting with the left margin. The rest of the properties on this screen are going to work the same way as they were described for the ratings. So let's go ahead and click on OK. And we're going to move on to our next element, which is the question answer piece. So to do this, we're going to pull up our properties for question answer. Again, most of the properties here we've already looked at. The first new property is here where we have our prompt text, and we have it for print, and then we have it for the screen. Here, you can type in what you want to show up on the printed report, as well as on the input screen for the prompt for this question and answer. Let's go ahead and click on Advanced. The next new property is Use Drop-Down List. You can check this if you want this item to have a drop-down list, or if you don't want a drop-down list, simply uncheck it. Only allow selection from list means that you have to select something from the drop-down list, and the person filling out the inspection does not have the ability to click on it and type something new in. Assign a different list is where you can set it up to share drop-down lists with other items in the template. So this gives you the ability to have multiple question answers in different sections, different areas of the report, but all sharing the same drop-down list. As we move along down, special type, and if we go down here to get answer from order, these are both options that, again, were available in older versions of the program and are no longer in use, so you can simply skip over them and leave them blank. Remember, answer as allows you to set the QA up so that if you type an answer in, the next time you start an inspection with the template, it'll automatically pre-fill that answer with the previously entered data. Here we have enter the percentage across the screen, and you can simply split it up between the print and the screen, as well as the prompt and the answer. Where we have wide, this allows you to make the input box larger or smaller on the input screen. It will not impact the way it looks on a printed report. So that's a look at the QA piece properties. And to wrap up, we're going to go to the note piece, where all the properties are actually going to be the same except for one. So we're going to click on OK here. We're going to click on our notes, and then we're going to click on Advanced. The only property that is different is where it says maximum notes, length 0 equals unlimited. This gives you the ability to limit how many characters can be entered in for this note. If you leave it at 0, which is the default selection, that means there will be no limit to how many characters you can type in. So that's a look at the common piece types and the properties associated with each. There are other piece types that have some properties that we haven't reviewed, but most of them are very straightforward to use and understand. With the basic understanding you now have of the basic properties, those will come very easily as well. This concludes the tutorial for common piece properties.